All right, so in this video, we're going to see Rep. Ralph Norman introduce a motion to censure Stacey Plaskett and remove her from the Intelligence Committee over her alleged communications with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's watch the full clip, and then I'll give you my thoughts at the end.
The gentleman is recognized. Mr. Speaker, my House Resolution 888, censoring and condemning Delegate Stacey Plaskett and removing her from the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence for conduct that reflects the discredibility on the House of Representatives for colluding with convicted felon and offender Jeffrey Epstein during a congressional hearing. Whereas Stacey Plaskett, the delegate representing the United States Virgin Islands in the House of Representatives, inappropriately coordinated in real time with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in a congressional hearing in February of 2019. Whereas Delegate Plaskett was actively coached by Epstein during the hearing, receiving instructions on specific lines of questioning, and was congratulated after the message by Mr. Epstein, good work. Whereas Jeffrey Epstein, the Speaker of the House is not in order. The gentleman has the floor. The chair would again ask the body to please observe the quorum and keep conversations to a minimum. The gentleman has the floor. Whereas Jeffrey Epstein was a known convicted felony sex offender, having pled guilty and been convicted for procuring a child for prostitution and solicitation, a proselyte in a plea deal in 2008, and served a 13-month prison sentence. Whereas in the course of that investigation, the FBI compiled reports on dozens of confirmed minors who credibly alleged sexual abuse by Mr. Epstein. Whereas Epstein was under further federal investigation beginning in November of 2018, 2 months before Delegate Plaskett's recently revealed text exchange during a congressional hearing, following investigative reporting by the Miami Herald detailing Epstein's controversial 2008 plea deal and highlighting accounts of his victims. Whereas Epstein was arrested in July of 2019 and charged with 1 count of sex trafficking of minors and 1 count of conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of minors, he was later found dead in the New York Metropolitan Correctional Center. Whereas according to documents released from Epstein's estate during a House Committee on Oversight and Reform hearing featuring testimony from Michael Cohen, the disgraced former attorney for President Donald J. Trump, Delegate Plaskett coordinated her line of questioning with Jeffrey Epstein in real time over text messages while the hearing was underway. Whereas Delegate Plaskett, who previously served as an Assistant Attorney General in the United States Department of Justice Civil Division, is known to have had extensive political, personal, and professional connections with Epstein after his conviction as a sex offender up to the time of his arrest and then his death in 2019. Whereas Delegate Plaskett's relationship with Epstein stands in stark contrast to the public image that she has curated for herself as a defender of justice and accountability, and while secretly collaborating with an individual whose crimes against vulnerable women and children shocked the entire nation. Whereas Delegate Plaskett's willingness to receive instructions on official congressional proceedings from Epstein, a convicted felony sex offender with deep concerning international associations, is especially alarming and inappropriate given her own past service in the United States Department of Justice and her current role on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, and raises serious questions about Delegate Plaskett's judgment, her integrity, and her fitness to serve. Whereas such associations erode public trust in Congress, particularly when they involve using input from a sex offender to advance partisan attacks during official proceedings. Now, therefore, be it resolved, Section 1, censure of Delegate Stacey Plaskett. Resolved that the House of Representatives censors and condemns Delegate Stacey Plaskett for inappropriate coordination with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein during a congressional hearing which reflects discreditably on the House of Representatives, and directs the Committee on Ethics to conduct a full investigation into the extent of Plaskett's ties to Epstein and any further improprieties. Section 2, removed from House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. The following named member be and is hereby removed from the following committee on the House of Representatives. Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, Ms. Plaskett.
I mean, I actually feel unclean after reading those texts. We always knew the Democrats were desperate to get Trump, but this is a level of depravity that is hard to even process. You have a sitting member of the Intelligence Committee, Stacey Plaskett, sitting in a hearing, and she is literally clueless. Did you see the text about Rona? Epstein tells her, Cohen brought up Rona, and she replies, is that an acronym? She has no idea what is going on. She is completely empty-headed without him. The mastermind behind the questioning was Jeffrey Epstein. She was just the mouthpiece. And let's talk about the level of control he had over her. It makes my skin crawl. He texts her, are you chewing? He is watching her on TV, monitoring her mouth, and he tells her to stop. And does she tell him to get lost? Does she tell him she's a grown woman? No. She apologizes. She says, not anymore, bad habit. She submits to him immediately. It is so submissive. It is so weird. A man who trafficked children is telling a US Congresswoman to spit out her gum, and she obeys him. That tells you everything about who was really in charge. Then you have the great outfit text. You look great. And she says, thanks. It creates this picture of a cozy, friendly little team. They are buddies. They are chatting about clothes and gum and destroying Donald Trump. And remember, she knows who he is. Everyone knew who he was in 2019. He was a registered sex offender, and she is flirting with him politically and personally because he promised her dirt on the bad orange man. It proves they have absolutely no moral floor. They will dig through the absolute bottom of the barrel if they think it helps them win. And the college transcripts thing, that was Epstein's idea. He fed her the line about Trump's grades. So when you watch that hearing, you aren't watching a congresswoman do her job. You are watching Jeffrey Epstein prosecute the president of the United States by proxy. He is the one pulling the strings. And she is just happy to be there, checking her phone, hoping for a good work text from her boss. And she is on the Intelligence Committee. I have to keep saying that because it is terrifying. A woman who takes orders from a blackmailer on her physical appearance, and her legal strategy has access to the country's secrets. It is a massive vulnerability. If Epstein could control her that easily with a few texts, imagine what a foreign government could do. She is a total liability. The media silence is the other part that drives me crazy. Imagine if a Republican did this. Imagine if Jim Jordan was texting a felon about his chewing gum during a hearing. The press would call for his arrest. They would call it a scandal of the century. But here, they ignore it. They protect her. It proves the media is part of the same club. They protect the people who attack Trump, no matter how disgusting their allies are. Hakeem Jeffries defending this is just the cherry on top. She broke no rules. That is their defense. It is totally bankrupt. They are admitting that they have no ethics, only loopholes. As long as it is technically legal to take coaching from a monster, they are fine with it. It is a sick, sad display of what the Democrat Party has become. And look, the vote failed. She kept her seat. The swamp protected its own, but at least the texts are out. We can see the Rona text. We can see the chewing gum text. We know the truth. Stacey Plaskett is a puppet, and her strings were pulled by the worst man in America. It is shameful, and every American should be furious that she is still anywhere near a committee room. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. While you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.